Good morning. It is Wednesday morning, and I apologize we were not able to go live with you last week. This is Dr. Michael Prince, and welcome to the Mike Prince Show. As I mentioned, we were not able to go live on last week due to the SWAC Basketball tournament. We were all over the place. We did 9 games within the first 3 days of the basketball tournament, and we were just to our eyeballs in basketball. But we're back, and we're back with a vengeance. We want to talk a little bit about how this political race is shaping up. It appears that it's going to be down between Ms. Hillary Clinton and Mr. Donald Trump. But now the GOP seems to be trying to do some tag teams to try and block the possibilities of Trump representing the party. We'll talk about a little bit of that. We'll talk about, of course, the changes that have gone across on the Hill at Prairie View, talking about the removal of the interim title. Coach Byron Smith, he has been officially named the head basketball coach for the Prairie View men's basketball team. We'll take a break and we'll come back and we'll talk all about it right here at the Mike Prince Show. A little shortened edition, but we're still going to get it done. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Hello, this is Mike Prince, the host of the Mike Prince Show, featured right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Just wanted to share with you that we have our app available where you can go and download it at Google Play absolutely free. You'll never miss another show. You can catch up with old archives, and you can pass it on. It's the gift that keeps on giving. The Mike Prince Show app available at Google Play absolutely free. Talk that makes sense. The Mike Prince Show, right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. It's a new year, and that means tax season is here. And Gunderson's Bookkeeping can provide you with personal income tax preparation. For more information and schedule an appointment, call Gunderson's Bookkeeping at 936-372-2661. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, is a great opportunity for you to have your next community event, whether it be nonprofit, funeral reception, community, charity, government, church, or individuals. The Jazz Bar has the accommodations to meet your need. The Jazz Bar is open Thursdays through Sundays, and you can schedule your private parties Mondays through Wednesdays. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, dial 936-857-9566. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Dr. Michael Prince. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at OBN_radio. You can follow us on Instagram at OBN Radio. You can even like our Facebook page. That is Open Mic Broadcast Network. That's OPEN, capital MIC. That is all one word, Broadcast Network. And don't forget to always follow our website at obnradio.com. That's obnradio.com. Well, if in case you had not heard, the primaries continue to unfold and manifest themselves, and it appears that Trump just cannot be stopped. So now it appears that the forces have gathered together and they say, you know what, we'll be better off partnering up against this guy than to let this guy come out and try to represent each and every one of us. And so the plot has begun. But my question is, why didn't you not try this earlier? You let this man get all sorts of momentum, and the force being with him, if you allow me to use that term, and you will find it even more difficult now to stop, because I've always had in my mind, and people think that I'm crazy when I say this, I don't think that Trump ever really intended on wanting to be president. I think it was just something for him to do. He had the money to do it, so why not? I don't really, in my heart, believe that he ever felt that he wanted to be president. Trump is about making money. He's about self-promoting. And that's what this was, and this thing has snowballed and gathered momentum. And now he's in his mind, why not? I may as well go ahead and do it. No one else seems to be capable of expressing and giving me the satisfaction that I need, so I'll just do it myself, and this is what we have. So now you have the GOP trying to rally around and plot to undermine, to block him from being the representation of the party. Meanwhile, on the Democratic ticket, Hillary Clinton is just rolling right along. She defeats Bernie Sanders in a complete sweep, and now it's probably looking more realistic that maybe Sanders should shut his camps down. And I can't recall what network it was, but the question was asked, would Bernie be considered running for vice president if Hillary Clinton was to get the nomination? And then he flipped it and said, well, would she consider being my vice president? I don't know if those two would be a good match or a good opponent. That's not my expertise to try to figure that out, but I believe the message has come loud and clear to Mr. Bernie Sanders is that the party is just about checked out as far as the continuation of him pursuing to become the next president of the United States. I just cannot see Bernie pulling a rabbit out of his hat to make up the lost ground that he has suffered with these last 5 states. But that shall remain to be seen, and they'll continue on. Meanwhile, I want to remind you that those that live within the Prairie View city limits that would happen to be listening to this show, that yours truly, Dr. Michael Prince, is running for mayor for the city of Prairie View. And I normally do not try to mix my personal political views in my business, but I just felt like I should go ahead and drop that little nugget on you this morning. Early voting will start on April the 15th, and it concludes on April 25th, and the actual election day will be on May the 7th. So if you reside within the Prairie View area, I believe you would have the right to exercise your right to vote. There are 4 candidates running for the mayor position. There are a couple other candidates running for councilman positions. I encourage you to truly research the individual candidates, including myself, and you decide on the merits and the works that have been established who should represent you in your local, state, and national elected positions. It is a task that must be done, that should not be taken for granted. Do your due diligence, your research, and make a wise and proper decision. If you'd like more information about yours truly, simply visit our website at michaelprinceformayor.com. That's Michael Prince, all one word, the number 4, mayor.com. Go ahead, investigate it yourself, compare the apples to apples, and then you make your decision. That's all I could ask anyone to do. And when you do that, I believe you would see that out of all the options that you have available, that I am the right choice. We're going to take us a break. We'll come back and talk some PV Sports right here at the Mike Prince Show. Keep it where you got it. We'll be right back. You're listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas. Apple Ford Hyundai is a dealer you can count on. Apple's range of car services include new Ford Hyundai sales, used car sales, car loans, and auto financing. Certified Ford Hyundai Auto Service Department, full selection of Ford Hyundai auto parts and aftermarket accessories. Come on out to Brenham, Texas, and find out why Apple Ford Hyundai has been named the best kept secret in Brazos Valley. They're located at 1820 Highway 290 West in Brenham, Texas. You can dial their toll-free number at 888-898-6095. There's even an internet sales division. Simply go to www.appleford.com. Apple Ford Hyundai of Brenham, Texas.
Okay, astronaut, you're up. You'll be meeting with Wish Kid Brandon.
Roger, Brandon.
His wish is to see a space shuttle launch.
All systems are go. We are clear for liftoff.
This year, more than 27,000 children will be diagnosed with a life-threatening medical condition. And, Cowboy?
Yes, ma'am.
You'll be meeting with Shayla at a dude ranch in San Antonio.
Let's saddle up.
Some will miss school. Some will miss time with their family and friends. Princess, are you here?
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for rescuing me from that evil witch.
Juliana wishes for a princess-themed room makeover.
That sounds magical.
But with your help, the Make-A-Wish Foundation can lift their spirits and give them a special kind of hope. Pirate!
Yar!
You're up for Isaac's wish.
Aye, aye, Captain.
The wishes of thousands of children are waiting to come true.
You can help make my wish happen. Visit wish.org today.
With over 20 years of experience as a lawyer, attorney Lee Van Richardson Jr. can help you with whatever your need may be. Divorce, car accidents, criminal case, wills, deeds, trust, civil suits, parent and child relationships. Contact Richardson's Law Office located at 1047 Austin Street in Hempstead, Texas. You can call them at 979-826-8008. Attorney Lee Van Richardson Jr. in Hempstead, Texas. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I'm your host, Dr. Michael Prince. As we mentioned last week, we were down in Houston, Texas at the Toyota Center as the Southwestern Athletic Conference came in and invaded Houston. And what an exciting tournament it was. Now, the Panthers on the men and women's division both were eliminated in round number one, but it still was a very eventful tournament down in Houston. I want to give congratulations to the Lady Hornets of Alabama State. They won the women's division over Southern University, and also want to give congratulations to the Southern Tigers. Southern Tigers were victorious over Jackson State to win the championship 54-53. Now, as these teams have advanced, Jackson State went on to play Sam Houston State, a representation of the Southland Conference, another SWAC Southland Conference matchup. And Jackson State was victorious in overtime by the score of 81-77. Meanwhile, in the NIT rankings, the Texas Southern Tigers fell short of El Paso as they lost 84-73. So the Texas Southern Tigers season has come to a halt as they fell short. Meanwhile, for the Alabama State Hornets, the women's division, they will be facing up, if I'm not mistaken, against the number 2 ranked Lady Longhorns of Texas on this coming Saturday. Southern, the Lady Jags, will take on Arkansas State. Actually, today at 7 p.m., those two teams will get together. They'll be representing the Southwestern Athletic Conference in the showdown to continue on with the March Madness. And speaking of the March Madness, we want to give a congratulations to the newly appointed head basketball coach for the Prairie View A&M Panthers, and that is Coach Byron Smith. Now, Byron Smith came in and filled the role as the interim for the last 4 to 6 weeks and had a pretty good impact on the program, and enough impact where athletic director Ashley Robinson went ahead and removed the interim tag, and he is now officially the head coach. And we did have some exclusive interview audio for you, but for whatever reason we've had a glitch in the road, but we'll post it up here as soon as we can get it available. Sometimes when you deal with technology, things happen, and when you're going live like we're going on this morning, glitches come. It's just part of the nature, part of the beast. But nonetheless, things worked out. So Coach Byron Smith, in a summary, if you will, of the interview, was extremely pleased and thankful to be in the position that he is now in, and spoke about what some things he have in mind to try and move the program forward and continue to try and change the culture, as he put it, of the Prairie View basketball program. Meanwhile, Coach Don Brown had to overcome a lot of injuries late in the season and throughout the course of the season as the Lady Panthers fell short in their bid for the Southwestern Athletic Conference tournament. But nonetheless, life goes on, and they shall rally the troops and mount up and get it all over again. It's just amazing how quick these seasons come and go, as the season, although it's over, it just ends, because during spring break right now, or I should say it just begins, because during spring break right now what you'll have is, yes, you're on spring break, but as soon as that break is concluded, the recruiting begins, the planning begins, the training begins. So there is no rest for the weary. And speaking of no rest for the weary, we want to give a congratulations to the Prairie View A&M men's baseball program, and we'll tell you a little bit more about that. We'll pause 30 seconds, and we'll be right back. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, is a great opportunity for you to have your next community event, whether it be nonprofit, funeral reception, community, charity, government, church, or individuals. The Jazz Bar has the accommodations to meet your need. The Jazz Bar is open Thursdays through Sundays, and you can schedule your private parties Mondays through Wednesdays. The Jazz Bar, located in Prairie View, Texas, dial 936-857-9566. And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Mike Prince. As I may mention before we took that little brief break, the Prairie View A&M University men's baseball went to San Antonio, Texas on yesterday to take on the Southland representation in the version of the Incarnate Word Cardinals. And they split with the Cardinals, losing game 1 12-2, but had a performance on game number 2 by Mr. Edward Robledo, who pitched a complete game, 105 pitches, gave up only 1 run, had a total of 5 strikeouts throughout the course of the day. And this young man was simply on fire. There was no stopping the Panthers as the Panthers out-hit the Cardinals. Had a total of 5 runs off of 7 hits. The Cardinals committed 3 errors. And for the Cardinals, they had 1 run off of 6 hits, and the Panthers had committed 2 errors. We were able to catch up with the victorious coach, Coach Antoine Riggins, and we'll get his feedback and come back and talk a little bit more on the performance of the Panthers in San Antonio, Texas.
All right, Coach, a tale of 2 stories, man. The first game, 12-2, you can kick yourself of some blown opportunities, but then you get the performance of a lifetime by Edward Robledo. He throws 105 pitches. The game took 2 hours and 10 minutes. I've seen 7-inning games go 2 hours and 10 minutes. What's your feedback?
Well, every time Edward go out, he give us a chance to win. He fills the strike zones up with all his pitches. To be honest with you, I don't even know what he throw. I don't care what he throw, as long as he's getting us outs. And he was on today. He kept us in the game, and then we got timely hitting. I think the first game and the beginning of the second game, we go from our approach, away from our approach. We're trying to pull the ball on somebody that really can't get us out, but he was getting us out because he was doing what he need us to do to get out. And so I had a meeting with him in the dugout, and I told him that, hey, we got to hit the ball back the other way. All of a sudden, we come out, we start hitting the ball the other way. We get a big hit from Jones with the bases loaded. Then Nick come up with another hit after that with another RBI, an aggressive play, turning a single into a double. But that's our game. That's how we're going to play. That's how we put pressure on the other team when we start to do those things. We just got to do it often.
Now, when you go back to the first game, and maybe it seemed to be a good thing, but maybe a disaster in design. When Gurka first pitch he sees, he goes 335 feet down the line. And then maybe guys felt like they could turn on this guy all day long, which probably set up the demise in game 1.
I told him when he hit that home run, I was upset. I was upset the simple reason because he didn't do anything after that. Prior to him hitting home run at Texas Southern, he never pulled the ball. All his hit came up the middle the other way. And so when he hit that home run, he haven't really been the same Gurka. He been getting his hits, but he haven't been really the same Gurka. And I told him that prior to the second game. And he's like, what? I said, yeah. I said, when you look to pull the ball, you're not yourself. When you're hitting the ball the other way, you're hitting the ball hard. And when you get 2 or more hits in the game, we win every game. And he didn't know that. But anytime he get 2 or more hits in the game, we win the game. Because our leadoff guy is on. He set the tone for us. When he don't set the tone for us, we struggle. Now,
when you talk about struggle, Avalos is somewhat in a slump right now. Mm-hmm. I've noticed that you set him down in game 2. Have you had a chance to talk with him yet?
No, I haven't. To be honest with you, I struggle with sitting him down because he's a captain for us. I know he's struggling, but I set him down because I want him to actually sit back and watch other hitters so he can learn a little something, watch how pitchers are pitching to certain guys that similar hitters as him. So when we get back tomorrow and Thursday, we can talk about it and we can get into a little hitting session and we can iron out all the kinks.
Well, if a guy is really going to be a student and a lover of this game, mm-hmm. when you're pulled out in a situation like that, this is not the time to be moping. This is when you do watch the game and become better at it, because sometimes you need to step back mm-hmm. and get a chance to see what's going on around you.
Yeah, you know what? He's not that type of kid. It's frustrating when I know he can hit and he's not doing it, but he's putting more pressure on him. It's probably more my fault because, when I talk to him, I say, I don't mess with your hitting because you hit. And I probably put pressure on him to try to do things that he shouldn't do. So like I said, tomorrow we'll get back on the drawing board with him hitting. We'll probably do some early hitting or a Thursday because I think we got the day, tomorrow off. But Thursday, happen if we get to
Pine Bluff
early.
Mm-hmm.
I may want to go hit with him.
Okay.
So we're going to figure it out. He's going to hit when we get to Pine Bluff.
Well, you got a big Tuesday win against the Southland Conference. We'll discuss that some other time down the road. Now it's time to get focused on Pine Bluff. Defending West champs. I know you're good friends with Carlos James.
I don't know him.
But don't know him?
No, I never met him.
Well, know that you're coming with your boots on and strapped.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You have to with him because I happened to go catch at the end of the Texas Southern and Pine Bluff game the first night out, and there was a lot of words being exchanged. So we got to go down there. We got to handle up. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, Coach. Thank you, man. Good luck and congratulations. This is Coach Antoine Riggins. The Panthers split with the Southland opponent, the Incarnate Word Cardinals, but they'll get their bags packed and get their traveling shoes to go to Pine Bluff, and we'll be there to give you all the live coverage. This is Dr. Prince, and we'll see you on the other side.
And, of course, that was Coach Antoine Riggins' discussion and how the Panthers were able to rebound after literally collapsing in game number 1, losing 12-2. A little side note is that this was the first time that the Panthers had beaten Incarnate Word since 2003, 2004, or something of that nature. And that's a mighty, mighty long time for an opponent to have your number. So you got to appreciate and at least recognize and admire what Antoine Riggins and his staff has brought to the Prairie View baseball department and the Prairie View baseball world. As you heard him mention that the outstanding performance by Edward Robledo just seems to amaze me each and every time this young man goes out. He, by all means, could be a starter on this rotation, but because of the lack of depth in the arms that the Panthers have currently, he's been asked to play the role of relief man and start on Tuesdays. And Tuesdays is when you have your opportunities to play the quote-unquote big boys and get a chance to kind of shake up the foundation. And Robledo has done just that. I've seen this young man come in and pitch 62 innings, one outing, come back the next day and pitch 40-plus. And he seems to be a rubber band man. He's bouncing right back, very responsive and supportive of the efforts that the team needs from him and Coach Antoine Riggins and his staff. So the Panthers split with the Incarnate Word Cardinals in San Antonio. The Panthers would now, as you heard, get prepared to travel to Arkansas Pine Bluff, and they'll have a 3-game series scheduled with the defending West champions and Carlos James and the Golden Lions. And we'll be there with you to provide you with the live baseball coverage of the Panthers and the Golden Lions, as the Panthers will try to propel themselves. They're 3-2 right now in conference play, as the the Golden Lions, I believe, are 1-5 right now to start things off. The Panthers ended up splitting with the Southern Jaguars on this past weekend. A lot of rain held back where they couldn't get the normal 3-game series in, so they ended up going 2 games, and they were handed their hats by Jamarcus George, the lefty pitcher from the Southern Jaguars. He ended up going a complete game, beating the Panthers by the score of 9-2. But there were some interesting numbers and factors with this young man, and he ended up getting SWAC Player of the Week, and probably deservedly so. He had 14 strikeouts and only gave up 4 hits, and of course 2 runs. But the most alarming thing for me was this young man's total pitch count. He had over 150 pitches that he threw. And matter of fact, to be exact, he had 158 pitches That is a ton of pitches. Excuse me, I forgot to clear my throat. Pardon me about that. I did not want to do that on the air live, but I just couldn't help it. This young man had 158 pitches. Now, although he had 14 strikeouts, he went to complete game. My question is, at what cost? That is an awful, extreme amount of pitching for one arm to do. And as a head coach, as a former player, as a parent, you have to ask yourself, at what point is too much? Yes, I know the adrenaline gets to flowing. You're having a great game. You have the other team's number, but at some point, 158 pitches. I'm personally going to be watching this young man, Jamarcus George, closely to see any wear and tear on this young body. But you got to tip your hat to him. He did a fine job. And then you had Edgar Poppy Sanchez come back on Sunday and do just as great. He goes the distance, gets 9 strikeouts for the Panthers' 7-1 win to muster up the split between the Southern Jags. So the Panthers are off to a much better than expected start under first-year coach Antoine Riggins. A lot of the skepticism, if you will, was how is he going to respond? He's never coached in college. He's never done this. He's never done that. Well, that's why you play the games. And that's why you have to prove and give people an opportunity to prove themselves. One thing that is undeniably, the young man knows baseball. And if you get people in the right situations, in the right opportunities, experience is not really as important as people would like to think it is. Knowledge and how you handle people is will always lead to success, whether you're coaching or running an office. It's about how you handle people. And right now, from the outside looking in, it appears that Coach Riggins has the right handle on the people. So we'll see how the rest of the story unfolds as the Panthers will get ready to put on their traveling shoes. Now, we'll give you the rest of the Panthers schedule that you can check them out right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. As we mentioned, this weekend they'll be in Arkansas as they take on the Arkansas Pine Bluff Golden Lions on the 18th, 19th, and the 20th. And then the following week, they will go to Sam Houston on that Tuesday for a 6:30 pitch time. And that time will be caught live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Then the weekend, they'll go to Grambling, Louisiana to take on the Tigers, the G-Men as they're affectionately called, the 25th through the 27th. And those games will be available right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. And on the 29th, they'll be at Houston Baptist. And guess what? We'll be there as well. Now, the home games will not be broadcast on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, but you can come on out on the Hill and check out the New Look Panthers and Coach Antoine Riggins as they will try to move things forward here in the Southwest Athletic Conference, and in particular the Western Division, to try to see if the Panthers can shake them up, if you will. We're shaking them up right now, and believe it or not, we're just about done with this week's episode. As I mentioned at the top of the hour, we're going to have a shortened version of this week's show, but we will come back with another segment. You're listening to the Mike Prince Show live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network and OBNradio.com. listening to Community Radio on the Open Mic Broadcast Network, 87.9 FM, Prairie View, Texas.
You know what? I got a problem with drinking and driving. Too many fall victim, most don't survive it. We just gotta think before we drink, cause you can lose your life just as fast as you can blink. It's that simple. We all know driving drunk is illegal, still we're doing it. I'm just trying to smarten up my people so we can keep it safe on the roads. I'm all about mad, and that's because they got a positive goal. So next time when you out with the guys, make sure at least one stays sober to ride. Keep it safe, y'all. Yeah, keep it safe, y'all. Yeah, mad.org.
You want to know what Boy Scouting is all about? Boy Scouts of America program has 3 specific objectives, commonly referred as the aims of scouting. They are character development, citizenship training, and personal fitness. If you have a young man between the ages of 11 and 17 and you live in the Houston area, dial 713-659-8111. On my honor, I will do my best.
Did you know that physically active children are healthier? It's true. Exercise protects them from diabetes, obesity, cancer, and heart disease. Sadly, nearly half of our kids don't get the recommended 60 minutes of exercise a day. So turn off your kids' TV or computer and take them outside for a walk or bike ride. After all, what's more important than your child's health? To learn more about getting exercise into your child's life, visit the American Council on Exercise website at acefitness.org. That's acefitness.org.
Are you looking for an affordable way to increase your business? Let the Open Mic Broadcast Network lead the way. For a customized, affordable ad campaign, call 832-213-8824.
And welcome back to the Mike Prince Show. I am your host, Mike Prince. I just wanted to bring you guys up to date as well, too, because I don't want anyone to ever feel like that they're being slighted, especially here on the Mike Prince Show and the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We do have some other sports on the heel that bear some reckoning. Our men and women's track in particular on Friday, March the 18th, and Saturday, March the 19th, there will be the TSU relays, and the Prairie View Panthers will go in competition to get ready to come out victorious with that. Coach Clay and Coach Williams doing an outstanding job for the Panthers. And you got coming up a couple more dates. March 24th will be the Rice Victor Lopez Bayou Classic, held and hosted by Rice University. University of Texas will host the Texas Relays on Thursday, March 31st through April 2nd, and that will be the Texas Relays. Then you have Thursday, March 31st, all day long, the Bobcat Invitational in San Marcos, Texas. And on Saturday, April the 9th, another all-day event, that Incarnate Word Invitational in San Antonio, Texas. April the 9th, another all-day event out of Waco, Texas. It is the Baylor Invite. And on Saturday, April 16th, another all-day event. It is the Prairie View Invite. I'm understanding that's going to be in Prairie View, Texas. Hopefully they can get that taken care of. They might have to relocate that. Not real sure. They got construction going on, but we will see. And on April 23rd, another all-day event, the Michael Johnson Classic in Waco, Texas. And Friday, May 6th through Sunday, May 8th, will be the SWAC Outdoor Championships in Huntsville, Alabama. And then from there to get ready for the NCAA Western Preliminaries and the Outdoor Championships in Lawrence, Kansas, and Eugene, Oregon, May 26th through May 28th, and then June 8th through June 11th. So you got a lot crossing around and going over as we get ready. I want to also give you some quick softball reminder schedules as we are coming to our final conclusion here of this episode, of this segment, I should say. The Abilene Christian games were canceled for the 14th at Prairie View, and the Panthers give a congratulations to Coach Vernon Bland and the Lady Panthers as they were victorious over Langston by the score of 9-0 and 5-3 on yesterday as they took care of business. And the Panthers will be taking on Incarnate Word today at 1 p.m. It'll be a doubleheader event as they take on Incarnate Word at 1 p.m. and at 3 p.m. the scheduled time. So we'll be out there trying to get some interviews and check things out for the Lady Panthers and Coach Vernon Bland as they will be hosting Incarnate Word Lady Cardinals today on the campus. Then you have March 18th, 19th. It'll be a series in Montgomery, Alabama, as the Alabama State Lady Hornets will host the Lady Panthers, and the Panthers will come back home for March 25th and 26th as they'll host the Alcorn State Lady Braves. And then coming in right behind that will be the Grambling Lady Tigers. As a matter of fact, we have scheduled for the April 1st event where that game will be live, Grambling and the Lady Panthers live on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, we have done the best we could do on today, dealing with the time, and you can possibly hear that my voice goes in and out. We have been all over the place, but as I mentioned, always, it is a labor of love. My name is Dr. Michael Prince. I want to thank you all so much for your support and your continued encouraging words as we try to do the best we can while we can. And before we close out, I want to give a sincere thought, concern, as I would ask you all to help my brother and friend in this moment of bereavement. Close friend of mine lost his daughter to sickle cell, 21 years old. And it's always difficult when you have to say goodbye to a loved one, but it's extremely difficult when a parent has to lay a child to rest. And we ask you all to pray with us for the recovery and the healing of the Singleton family. You never know what and how things are happening. We have to try to embrace it to the best of our abilities. I want to thank you all so much for your listening to the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Mike Prince Show. Remember, go to our website at obnradio.com and you can keep up with the scheduled broadcasts that we have coming up. We're working on a whole lot of things, and we have only just begun. I'm Dr. Michael Prince. Enjoy the rest of your week. May God bless you and may He keep you. And we'll see you on the other side.